Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the Mental Hygiene Show. I am Sachi Arora, the host for today's session and the campaign ambassador at the Mental Hygiene Monday campaign, an initiative by the Mental Hygiene Monday and powered by the Artsy Cure. Today, we are going to talk about It's the Little Things, Gratitude, with our guest for today's session, Ms Aishwarya Ajmani. Ms Aishwarya is a counseling psychologist and an internationally certified NLP practitioner. She's also the founder of Happy Minds, an initiative with the vision to provide counseling services. It's a pleasure to have you here, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sachi, for this introduction, and I'm so happy to be here and to talk about something which is very important, I guess. Thank you for having me here.
That's great, ma'am. We are glad you're happy to be here. So, before we move further, I would like to ask you your views about today's topic, that is gratitude.
All right, so when this topic was, initiated by you guys, ma'am, we have to speak about this. I was actually happy to talk about it. So when you're saying about talking about gratitude, I think it's a very powerful mental tool and a resource that gives you constant reminder about there is something good happening in our lives, right? It's an emotion, it's a sentiment, it's the strongest virtue, which I feel. It's an attitude of acknowledging, appreciating, celebrating the little things in our lives that we, generally brush off and we just forget to think about it, right? So what I feel is that when we take a pause in our life to reflect on what we currently have, rather than crying and whining about what we don't have, is the time we are expressing gratitude. And that in itself is a very enlightening moment, right? And it also serves as a reminder, that life is not that bad. Even in very, very adverse situations, I do feel there is at least one or two things that is coming good out of it. We are not able to see that, but it is there. We just need to be more aware about it, right? Something when you say a view about gratitude, which I feel people have perceived it as wrong, is that people feel gratitude is all about considering the good things and denying the negativity of it, right? It's just not about that. You're actually acknowledging what it is, but not blindfolding the negative. So I think when it comes to gratitude, it would not eliminate, disappear the negative aspects. I think it just strengthens you uh, to fight the adverse situations much better. So that's what I feel about this topic, and that's how I feel gratitude is one of the most resourceful tools.
That's really great, ma'am. It indeed is a very powerful, very positive resource for us, especially in times like this. And so, yeah, what do you think that how can we practice gratitude, especially when in times like these when everything seems to go wrong around us?
So to be honest, I think during these uncertain times, it's very difficult for anybody, as a matter of fact, to feel positive, to feel optimistic, to feel so upbeat about life. I think it's very difficult because I think life has changed completely for so many people. And so I would first say that it's okay to feel anxious, sad, depressed, not so great, not so energetic, because it's not easy. However, when we talk about how gratitude can help here, I think inculcating gratitude uh, just gives you a little hope and just, shifts the spotlight from the negative to the positive aspects of your life. Right. So I think during the period of lockdown and isolation, I think people started to see what really matters. What are the things that really matters is having house, is having a bed, is being ensured that people who you really love are safe, right? They are actually home with you. They're not sitting somewhere else. So having food to eat, you're not standing in line to get food. I think all of a sudden during this lockdown, people did buy a new perspective, which was good. Right now, there are three, four things which I feel can suggest here. If you wish to practice gratitude, I would tell you how to go about it. Right. Number one, scientifically, it has been said that just thinking about three good things and at the end of the day or at the end of a week, just thinking about three good things that made your life a little easier, made your life a little comfortable, be it having Netflix, be it having your favorite food, be it having a job promotion. It could be anything that made your life a little better, right? It need not be a very big thing of your life or a big achievement. It comes back to little things, right? The second thing is, which I personally feel, is to stop comparing. So I'll just tell you with this, explain this with an example, right? So for example, you bought a car that you have been longing for the longest, like you've been wanting that car for the longest period of time, right? And you're very happy about it. You just want to share the news. You're so thrilled. I mean, you're just hopping here and there. And when you call your friend and tell, you know what, I got a car and it's so great and this and that. And your friend tells you, I have this also. I got a new house today. I know it's so big, has got elevators, has got this and that. All of a sudden, the thing that was making you feel so good 5 seconds before, it would make you feel so bad about it. I don't have a house. I have this car, but I don't have a house. And when that happens, when that comparison comes in your mind, I think it becomes very difficult to figure out things that you can be grateful for. Right. So I think comparison is something which needs to be like taken into consideration, because it just makes it very difficult for us to feel grateful. Right. And the third thing, of course, is expressing gratitude. And it gives, you feel positive about yourself and also give happiness to others. And when you are the reason for someone else's happiness, I feel that in itself is a very pleasant thought, and it evokes positive emotions. So that's what I feel in lockdown, doing all these four things can really, really help.
Ma'am, when you mention about expressing gratitude to other people just now,
Yeah.
it reminds me of the activity that we did last week, which was we gave a task to a bunch of people, asking them to write one message of gratitude or simply just make a call for 2 to 3 minutes and tell their peers about how they are grateful to them. And today was the last day of the activity, and the response was so overwhelming. I mean, people are so stressed because of working at home and everything. And this task, they said they found this task to be so amazing that they said that we were actually feeling so positive. We were connected with the friends with whom we never even spoke in years. I mean, they said that, okay, let's stay in touch. I feel so happy to talk to you today.
Exactly. I think in lockdown, people have started to connect more to people, because again, it has been said, it's just physical distancing. It's not social and emotional distancing. I think we could focus on the other part, and I think it worked out good for many of people around. Yeah.
So, ma'am, since we are talking about this period, this lockdown period, what do you think are some things other than the things you mentioned that people can practice in order to dealing with stress during these times? Because there are people who are working at home, people have financial stresses and other things, and sometimes they even have time constraints. So what do you think can people do in such a situation?
Right. All right. So first is understanding and realizing that practicing gratitude is an antidote for stress. And you need to understand it and believe in the concept, because I feel that people just are tired with the word gratitude. Life is so bad, how I can be so happy about it, right? So first is understanding that these things does really make a difference, right? So when I say that again, why gratitude is important when you're having stress, a scientific fact is that when our body is under stress, there's this hormone, what we call as a stress hormone, which is cortisol, right? And whenever we feel stressful, this hormone is released, right? And when there's an increase in this level of hormones, our body starts to break down. our mental health and physical health both are start to get that they're diminishing in the effectivity of it, right? So what it is that when you experience gratitude, your 23% of that hormone is reduced, and that in itself boosts our immune system to work to to deal with that stress. So it's important to first be aware about how gratitude can bring about the change, right? So again, I said before that if you are feeling stressful or if your work is giving such pain and this and that, you need to pause and think, what if I didn't have a job at this point of time? What if I was kicked out of the job? And that's where I feel you think, okay, thank God I have a job. Thank God I'm going to get my salary this time, because that's how things are. People are right now at the streets, running jobless, running hungry, homeless, and this and that. So I feel instead of cribbing, it's okay to crib sometimes, but it's not okay to crib all the time, because I think that will just break you down. So just having those gratitude affirmations, okay, I'm so thankful. Oh, thank God I have a job. Great. I have food. I can eat my favorite food after working so hard. Thank God I have food. Thank God I can call my friend to crib about life even. So I guess these are the little things that can be as a combination of which would help you manage the stresses of life. So that's what I could tell.
That's so true, ma'am. I mean, I'm sure after listening to this response of yours, especially when you talked about the hormonal aspect of stress and dealing with it, I'm sure many people are going to pinpoint this and keep this in their mind forever. Not just for this situation, but also for the situations coming forward in their life.
I think people believe facts, and that's what something that really helps. So yeah.
It is so very true.
Yes.
So, ma'am, what do you think that being grateful of the little things can be helpful in interpersonal relationships?
Well, what I feel honestly again here is that every human have this need of feeling loved, respected, taken care of, being acknowledged and being appreciated. And gratitude is one such tool that you can use to meet those needs, right? So you feel so good and upbeat and thrilled about, wow, she appreciated me, she acknowledged my effort, I cooked for her or him, and they felt good about it, right? So I feel that having such expression of gratitude on a daily basis, right, it just strengthens your bond first. Second is that it gives you a sense of belongingness, that I am talking to the person who really values me. And then you feel, there is someone who's truly valuing my worth. So it also boosts your self-worth in that relationship for both the people, right? It makes you feel respected once a person say, okay, thank you so much for talking to me today. I was so tired and I just needed to talk. I just needed to have a coffee with you. And such little words, it doesn't take like a big gift to acknowledge someone. It just takes 2-3 words, I'm so thankful about it, I'm so glad you're in my life, and that's it. And that just connects the person really well. There's an emotional connection that is built on while you're practicing and expressing your feelings. That's where I feel relationships, if they have gratitude, it helps you to maintain, number one. It helps you to sustain that relationship in a healthier way. And even the longevity is much more. People take each other for granted. She's supposed to do that for me. I know. She's supposed to. My mom is supposed to cook for me. My dad is supposed to drop me. This kind of supposed thing is that we sadly take it so for granted. The other day, if you don't have that person in your life, uh, probably you would have so many regrets talking about, I wish I could have told her how much I loved her. So instead of falling in that regret trap, I think just do it. If you feel so thankful about the other person or about an event, just be thankful and convey that same thing to them, either, or just being egoistic about it. Why should I tell her I'm so thankful? People have these things. So I think just valuing each other would definitely build on a very solid foundation for a relationship.
This is a very solid thing that you have said, because this is that one problem that everybody deals with today, of supposing that, okay, she is supposed to do that for me, he's supposed to do that for me. Why should I be the first one to take an initiative to start a conversation, to reconnect?
Yes.
So I think, yeah, maybe the best way is like you said.
It's actually that, because rather than now than never, who knows? People think, I'm going to wake up the next day. Probably the things, that's not supposed to be very, factor. Anything can happen to anyone. And I think better enjoy the present moment. And that's where gratitude can step in and play the role.
Very true. So, ma'am, do you think there's an impact on a person's way of looking at life when they start practicing gratitude more often?
Of course. So, you look at life as half, a cup of water which is half empty or half full. It's your choice. Again, because if a person who's just cribbing about what I don't have would never ever enjoy their life, for sure, right? Because you find such people who would know, even something great is happening, they would just nitpick the small things and cry about it. So I think first of all, stay away from those people for sure. And the second thing is that people who are high on gratitude, they have like utmost enthusiasm for life. They're more resilient, right? They bounce back like this. Something happens, they figure out the good. Okay, I learned that from this thing. Thank God this is this way, and they just try to deal with the situation rather than just whining about what they couldn't do it, what they couldn't have. Oh my God, life is so terrible. Why is it happening to me only? With that, obviously they don't bounce back. So people who do not have gratitude, you will see them crying all the time. And suppose then they're actually missing all the good aspects of life, which is literally sad. The third thing is that again, people who are having gratitude have this capacity to build stronger relationships, as we talked, right? They have a broader spectrum. I think their map of life, how they see life, is broader, right? They are very happy about, that I've met people who say, आज कितनी अच्छी सांस ले रही हूँ मैं, and I had such a good time walking, I had such a good time drinking this drink. They're happy about the little things, and they smile and they love all about, and that is why I think that becomes a resource bank. Even when they're sad, they can come to this resource bank which they're filled with the good things of their life, and it can be put to use. And the moment it gets put to use, they are better off. So I feel gratitude in that way. Of course, there's a huge difference in people who are not having it and people who are having it.
That's so true that you said. Indeed, gratitude broadens our concept, it opens our mind, makes us breathe better, feel better, and just be amazing.
Yes.
That's,
Essence of
gratitude.
life, I think essence of life is broadened up, it's enhanced.
So, ma'am, now would you like to share some activity or task for our viewers to do on a day-to-day basis?
Okay. One thing which I feel, get up in the morning with a thought, I'm glad I'm alive. If I can see my parents around, happy and healthy, I am happy about it. If I get a message from my friend asking how am I doing, I'm happy, that she's there for me or he's there for me. Right. I think start your day with such kind of thoughts that tells you what you have rather than what you don't have. People get in the morning, oh my God, I have to, I didn't get enough today, I have to work so much, etc., etc. I would say save it for the rest of the day, but when you get up in the morning, start with those thoughts, because it will just direct your day in such a way. It will just set the tone for the day. That's what I feel. So it's a very simple task that people can do, of course. And again, as I mentioned before, so you start your day with gratitude, you can end your day with gratitude. Even when your day was a little messy and it was not the way you wanted to make it happen, sit in the end, okay, this was bad, but okay, this was good. Ah, thank God, I could have managed to even sail through the day. Acknowledge your ability to deal with the stressful times. That is something which is good. The third thing would be, I think gratitude visits is something which right now is not possible. So a little thing that I had was I was working with this NGO wherein I got a chance to meet students who are blind, right? So I was like, I'll go have to talk to them and this and that. It was all okay. But when I actually entered their room and their dorm, and there was no light because, again, for those people, they cannot see. So they had put less lights. It was so dark, and the environment in itself was a little negative when I reached there, a little overwhelming, as a matter of fact, for me. And what happened was when I came out, I was like, oh my God, I can see life, and that's something a great blessing. I can see colors. For them, the life is just black, and I saw colors. So I think just going and walking the streets and seeing how people are living life apart from how you want to live your life, and just seeing, that's what I call as gratitude. Was it just go outside and see how many people are out there who are struggling with so many things which you already possess. And that's where I feel uh, it can work. Just talk to people, um, even if it's a helper, just thank her for, or thank him for whatever they're doing for us. For even I feel that, okay, just light up someone else's mood just by saying the word thank you for doing this for us. It means a great deal. So I think not being consumed with your own ambitions all the time, right? What happens is we just forget. With the bigger goals, when what we are chasing in life, we just forget that. And we just forget what is actually good for us. So I guess that's where I feel these little activities, gratitude visits, saying thank you, get up in the morning saying thank you, sleeping in the night saying thank you. That's it. That's how simple it is when you're practicing
Lovely, ma'am. Indeed, gratitude is nothing but the little things in our life that matter the most, without actually thinking about what we have and not on what we don't have, and also not thinking about who should be the first one to take the initiative. It's not necessary that I always have to expect the other person to be the first one to text me or call me in time of
that.
despair or in times of happiness. I can be the first one. I can practice gratitude every single day of my life, because if I do so, I will be the happiest person in life, and I will have a broader perspective of life, of everything that is around me, be it big
Yeah.
or small, everything.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Of
ma'am.
course,
Thank
writing
you for
friend.
sharing your views. Thank you for giving us your time. I'm sure the session must have been very helpful for our viewers. I would also like to thank our viewers for being a part of today's session. We would love it if you share your feedback with us in the comments below. Also, please join us for our next session on 18th August at 6 p.m. And do like, share, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys will enjoy it later as well. And I hope, ma'am, you loved to be a part of our session today.
Yes, it was lovely talking to you, Sachi, and glad this initiative is taken. And hopefully, this initiative is a success, and people can, make a little difference of what you guys have been doing.
I think that would be the best thing. That would be something that we'll feel grateful about if we are able to
Yes,
help people with these small initiatives
of
by
course.
having
Of
people
course.
like you to share your knowledge with us.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Sachi. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you to our viewers. Thanks for watching.